Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name's Rhiannon and today I'm going to be showing you all of the books that I either bought or received in October. Now, I do just want to give a little disclaimer at the start of this video. I am really not well at the time of filming. I am full of cold, as you can probably hear, and I just feel all round very flat and a bit out of it. So if I do act a bit differently during this video, that is the reason why. But I did desperately want to film this video for you guys though, because it's been a while since I've sat down and filmed a bookish video for you. And I know that you guys do really enjoy my haul videos, so I'm finally here to give you guys my October book haul. I know we're nearly at the end of November now, which is awful and I'm so sorry, but I have had so much going on in my personal life that it's been really difficult to kind of fit this one in and get back into filming. But I'm hoping that this is the video that will kickstart my return to booktube, I guess, and I'm so excited to be creating Christmas and end of year content for you guys. Without further ado though, let's just dive into the video, otherwise I will keep talking for way too long. I don't really have any order to these books. I think I'm just going to group them as paperbacks and hardcovers today, because I do just have a mismatch of all different books from all different genres. So I'm just going to pick these books as I see them. And the first book I have to show you today is Nothing More to Tell by Karen M. McManus. This is Karen M. McManus's sixth book, I want to say. Let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6. And as you can tell, I do have all the other books by her. These books do tend to be YA murder mysteries that do have a little bit of a thriller element to them, and I have loved every single one of Karen M. McManus's books so far. I think I've read 3 out of the 6, so not doing too badly, but they're just really easy books to pick up and read and fly through, and sometimes that is just what I need. You guys know I love my murder mystery books, and I feel like sometimes it is nice to take a break from the adult murder mysteries and dive into a YA one, because as I mentioned, it just seems a bit more fast paced and it is quite refreshing to read as well. For this one though, it says a true crime can leave a false trail. 4 years ago, Bryn left St. Ambrose School following the shocking murder of her favourite teacher. The case was never solved, but she's sure that the 3 kids who found Mr. Larkin's body know more than they're telling, especially her ex-best friend Trip Talbot. He's definitely hiding something. When Bryn gets an internship working on a popular true crime show, she decides to investigate what really happened that day in the woods. But the further she dives into the past, the more secrets she finds. 4 years ago, someone got away with murder. Now it's time to uncover the truth. I did not know that this had a podcast element to it, so it has me even more excited to dive into this one now. I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts in my free time, so yeah, I think that will be such a cool element to it, and I'm guessing it will be a kind of dual timeline as well. So yeah, very excited to get to this one, and I'm really happy to add it to my collection. Next up we have Wild Spark by Vashti Hardy, and this one was very kindly gifted to me by Emily over at Emily Kathleen Reads, so thank you so much Emily for this one. I saw her unhaul video and saw that she was getting rid of this, and I just kind of gave her a message asking her if she still had it, and if she did, whether I could have it from her, and she sent it my way, which is very kind of her. But yeah, this is one I've been interested in for a while. It's a steampunk middle grade where machines don't come to life, but life comes to the machines. The description for this is really short, so it just says Prue Hayward is on a mission, getting the ghost machines of Medlock to remember the people they used to be. She needs to find her brother Francis. If she fails, her brother will stay dead, and if she succeeds, all of society may fall apart. That definitely doesn't give anything away. It is a chunky book, but I've heard amazing things about it. And so even though sci-fi steampunk isn't really what I would gravitate towards, this is one that I'm definitely excited to get to, and I'm very happy to have it in my collection. Next up we have The Bronze Key by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare. This is the 3rd book in the Magisterium series by them, in which we follow Cal, who is asked to go to some trials in order to get into a school for mages, but he's been warned against mages and magic his whole life, and so he tries his best to fail the tests. However, he ultimately fails at failing. He gets his spot in the Magisterium and has to undergo some trials in order to complete his first year as a mage, and we follow his journey as he tries to do that, whilst also facing some challenges along the way, of course, and meeting some friends as well. I'm not going to say too much more about this one because it is the 3rd book in the series, but I'm currently currently reading the second one. I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely getting a lot darker, which I didn't expect, but I do really appreciate. And yeah, I thought whilst I'm reading the second one, I should probably get my hands on the next book, and so that is why I ordered this one. Next up we have Never Never by Serena Valentino, and this is a book that is retelling the story of Captain Hook. This one says, before the story of the infamous Captain Hook was another, of a boy who longed to return to Neverland, and of a pirate turned captain determined to find his way back to the only place he felt like he belonged. But returning to Neverland comes at a price, especially for a man with no choice but to grow up. I've read 2 of these books, I want to say, a few years ago now. One retelling the story of the Evil Queen, and another I think was retelling the story of the Beast, if I'm correct. I might be misremembering because it was a while ago now. But this is the latest release. I love Peter Pan, it's one of my favourite films. Captain Hook is such a good villain as well, and so when I saw this one in Tesco, I believe, I decided to pick it up. I do also plan on doing a reading vlog for these books once I do get the rest of the books in this collection, so definitely keep your eyes peeled for that, though I'm not sure when it's going to happen depending on how quickly I buy the other books. I think there are 4 that I need to get to, so it might take a while, we shall see. But yeah, I'm very happy to have this one in my collection, and I do think it's one that I'm going to really enjoy. And then the last paperback book I have to show you does tie in with the last one a little bit, and that is because this is also a retelling of a very beloved story, which is The Nightmare Before Christmas. So this is Long Live the Pumpkin Queen by Shay Earnshaw, and it follows Sally as she's crowned Queen of Halloween alongside Jack Skellington, and is tasked with all the royal duties that come as part of that. And then it just says here, when Sally and Zero accidentally uncover a long hidden doorway to an ancient realm called Dreamtown, she unknowingly sets a chain of sinister events in motion, putting herself and the future of Halloween Town in jeopardy. Can Sally discover how to be true to herself and save Halloween Town, or will her future turn into her worst nightmare? That sounds amazing. This is one that I was meant to read in October. I bought it specifically for that reason and to take it along with me to Disneyland Paris, but I just didn't end up getting to it. I've just been so busy, as I've mentioned, and so this might be one that gets put off until next Halloween now, we shall see. But I'm really glad to finally have it. I have heard really good things about it, and I do think it will just be a nice fun little read that will give me all the feels that I get whilst watching The Nightmare Before Christmas. Right, so moving on to the hardcover books that I got. The first one I have to show you is The Golden Enclaves, which is lesson 3 of The Scholomance by Naomi Novik. The first book in this series is A Deadly Education, which I still have not read yet. Don't shout at me, please. But I did pre-order this one because it is a stunning edition, as you can see, but it has these sprayed edges, which I love as well. It has some eyes and some stars on there, which I just thought was too pretty to leave. The only issue I have, though, I don't know if you can see, my copy has a kind of tear in it here, and I was debating sending it back, but I thought, you know what, it's fine, it's readable, there's nothing too bad about it. When it's on the shelf you can see the spine, and if not you can see the sprayed edge. So I didn't send it back. I might regret that further down the line, but it's for a series that I haven't started yet, as I mentioned. I'm not sure how invested I'm actually going to be in these books, and so it's not my top priority to get a stunning unbroken set of these books. All I know about this series is that it involves a magic school where the kids who go there have to compete in some trials in order to graduate every year. Right, so I've just got the synopsis up on my phone. It says, a deadly education is set at a Scholomance, a school for the magically gifted where failure means certain death, for real, until one girl, Elle, begins to unlock its many secrets. There are no teachers, no holidays, and no friendships save strategic ones. Survival is more important than any letter grade, for the school won't allow its students to leave until they graduate or die. The rules are deceptively simple. Don't walk the halls alone, and beware of the monsters who lurk everywhere. Elle is uniquely prepared for the school's dangers. She may be without allies, but she possesses a dark power strong enough to level mountains and wipe out millions. It would be easy enough for Elle to defeat the monsters that prowl the school. The problem, her powerful dark magic might also kill all the other students. That actually sounds amazing, but I am a bit hesitant to dive into the series because I haven't heard the best best reviews. There have definitely been some negative ones, but there have also been quite good ones. So yeah, I think I just need to dive into the first book without having any real expectations and just experience the story for myself, because otherwise I'm going to keep putting it off and I'm never actually going to get to them. So I bought the third one. Hopefully I can start this series soon. Maybe I'll make it a goal of mine for 2023, but at least I have this book now so that I can binge the series if I do really enjoy it and want to carry on with the second and third books immediately. This next book is also very shiny, which I apologise for, and that is Verity by Colleen Hoover in the collector's edition. I read Verity 2 years ago now, I want to say, and it quickly became one of my favourite books. I absolutely loved it. It was so dark and twisted, but I just had the most amazing time reading it, and it stuck with me for the last 2 years. So when this special edition was announced, I of course pre-ordered it, and it's now arrived. I think that the only difference for this is that it has an exclusive new chapter, but also actually the fact that it's a hardcover. I don't think Colleen Hoover's books are available as hardcovers unless they're new, so yeah, this is a reprinted version with an exclusive new chapter, and it is also digitally signed by the author as well, which is so cool. In this one, we follow our main character, Lowen, who is a struggling writer. However, one day she is offered the opportunity of a lifetime when Jeremy Crawford, who is the husband of best-selling author Verity Crawford, asks her to continue on the book series that his wife started, because unfortunately his wife is very ill and is unable to finish out the books for herself. And so Lowen agrees to take on this job, and she kind of moves into the Crawford home in order to read through Verity's manuscripts and plans for the upcoming books so that she can actually sit down to start writing them. One day though, as she is doing this, she finds a manuscript written by Verity, and it details some very disturbing facts about her life, including facts about the death of one of her children, which may not have been an accident. And so Lowen throughout this is debating whether to tell Jeremy about this manuscript or not, because she doesn't want to break up this family. However, she knows that if she does show it to Jeremy, that he and Verity will be over and she might have a chance with him. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. It is extremely dark, so I would recommend you look for trigger warnings for this book, but it does feature things such as abuse, murder, the death of a child, and all the things that you would expect to go with those sorts of issues. So definitely be aware of that, but please stick with this until the very end. It all makes sense by that point, and as I mentioned, this will be a book that will stick with you for a while. So had to buy this edition. I'm very happy with it, though not with the colour. It is a bit bright, as I mentioned. I probably would have chosen something different, but it's fine. It stands out, and I can always find one of my favourite books on my shelf now. The next few books are some sequels that I pre-ordered, and then the last two are going to be the most recent Fairy Loot and Illumicrate books. So I'm kicking off the sequel stack with Kingdom of the Feared by Kerry Maniscalco, which is the Waterstones exclusive edition with the red/orange sprayed edges. This book is absolutely beautiful. You can see there that it has a design printed onto the book itself. We have gorgeous end pages, and it has these sprayed edges, as I mentioned. This is another case of me buying the third book in a series without reading the first book. I honestly need to stop doing this, you guys, but I'm just so scared that these books are going to go out of print that I buy them immediately. And I do know that I'm going to love these. I just have a deep gut feeling. So I do want to have the full set by the time I go to pick up the first book and finally read it, just in case I do want to binge the books. All I'm going to tell you about this series is the kind of tagline that's on the first book. It says, 2 sisters, 1 brutal murder, a quest for vengeance that will unleash hell itself, and an intoxicating romance. That is honestly all I need to know. I am really confused as to why I haven't picked this up yet. Katie from Katie's Book Nook loves this series, and she has shouted at me a few times because I still haven't started it. So I definitely need to prioritize this series, as I'll be doing with the Scholomance books as well. And yeah, hopefully I can get to this next year and finally get caught up with it, because as I mentioned, I feel like it's a book series that I'm really gonna love, and it has all the elements that I enjoy reading about. So this should be a good one for me, and yeah, I'm glad to have it now so that I can put it with the rest of the books and pick it up once I eventually start the series. The next book I have is These Twisted Bonds by Lexi Ryan, which is the sequel to These Hollow Vows, which I just had right to the side of me here. These are both the Fairy Loot editions. As you can see, they are beautiful. sequel. They have an orange and blue sprayed edge at the top and then a stencil design there. This one also has foiling printed onto the book itself, which hopefully you can see there, and it is signed by the author as well, which is obviously a really nice touch. As well as that, I have just noticed this art on the dust jacket as well, which is gorgeous and definitely has me intrigued about these characters because they are stunning. But yes, once again, this is a sequel. I haven't read the first one, surprise surprise, but it has been on my November TBR, and I know I mentioned at the start that we are at the end of November now, but hopefully I can get to this one next week. I am planning on doing so, which means that this one should get read pretty soon after, but my reading mood has been everywhere at the minute, so we'll see about that, I guess. But again, I will just read you the tagline for this because it's what drew me in the first place. It says, "Go to the Sealy Court, find the Queen's secret portal to enter the most dangerous place in Fairy, find my sister and rescue her from a power-hungry king." Child's play. I love books about fae, so this was definitely one that I thought I was going to enjoy from the get-go, and when the sequel was being sold by Fairy Loot as well, I just had to get a matching edition. Next up we have The Atlas Paradox by Olivia Blake, which is the sequel to the Atlas 6. This is the Illumicrate edition, which is just beautiful. I do also have the Illumicrate edition of the first one, which is why I ended up picking this one up, but oh my gosh, look at that. Absolutely love that design on the book itself. We then have this creepy character art there, and I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but it is also signed by the author as well. The Atlas 6 is a book that I've seen so much about these past 2 years. It was definitely hyped up by TikTok and book Twitter, and I did get sucked into the hype. I honestly though have no idea what the first book is about, so once again I am just going to consult Goodreads and give you guys the synopsis. So it says, "The Alexandrian Society is a secret society of magical academicians, the best in the world. Their members are caretakers of lost knowledge from the greatest civilizations of antiquity, and those who earn a place among their number will secure a life of wealth, power and prestige beyond their wildest dreams. Each decade the world's 6 most uniquely talented magicians are selected for initiation, and here are the chosen few: Libby Rhodes and Nicholas Ferrer de Verona, inseparable enemies, cosmologists who can control matter with their minds; Raina Mori, a naturalist who can speak the language of life itself; Parisa Kamali, a mind reader whose powers of seduction are unmatched; Tristan Kane, the son of a crying kingpin who can see the secrets of the universe; Callum Nova, an insanely rich pretty boy who would bring the bout to the end of the world. He need only ask." When the candidates are recruited by the mysterious Atlas Blakely, they are told they must spend 1 year together to qualify for initiation. During this time they will be permitted access to the Society's archives and judged on their contributions to arcane areas of knowledge. 5, they are told, will be initiated. 1 will be eliminated. If they can prove themselves to be the best, they will survive. Most of them. So that sounds really interesting. You guys can tell by the stack that I love a magic school setting, especially ones where the trials turn out to be deadly. So yeah, again, these are a set of books that I do think I'm going to really enjoy, and I'm really happy to have these stunning editions to put on my shelves. And then the final 2 books I have to show you are the Illumicrate and Fairy Loot books for October. Now I've actually cancelled my YA Fairy Loot subscription, so I do only have the adult book here to show you, but that book was Poster Girl by Veronica Roth, who is the author of the Divergent series. This edition has these sprayed edges, this artwork printed onto the book itself, which says "What's right is right." It has pretty cool end pages actually, and it's also signed by the author. Now I haven't actually read the Divergent books. I watched the first film and gave the rest a miss, so I'm not too sure whether I will like Veronica's writing style or not. This book is quite short, so maybe it's a good one to dive into and kind of gauge whether I would want to read anything else by her. But this actually sounds quite interesting. I wasn't sure if it was going to be my type of thing, but on the back it does just say "A fallen regime, a missing child, a chance at freedom." And then the little tagline says, "With razor-sharp prose, Poster Girl is a haunting dystopian mystery that explores the expanding role of surveillance in society, an inescapable reality that we welcome all too easily." I think this is going to be such an interesting book, especially because it involves technology. We are all consumed by technology daily, and I think if we were being watched by it as well, that it would be a very different type of world. So I'm definitely here for this. I don't really read a lot of dystopian novels, so I am kind of glad that Fairy Loot did give us a different type of book in their subscription box this month. And yeah, even though it's not one that I would have particularly chosen for myself, I'm really glad to have it, and I do think it's one that I will enjoy. And then to close out this video, we have The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrew. This, as I mentioned, was the Illumicrate book for October, and it is beautiful, you guys. I mean, look at those sprayed edges. Aren't they just gorgeous? We also have some flowers printed onto the book itself, some gorgeous end pages once again. The book is also signed by the author, and we do have a reversible cover, which is so cool. I wish a lot of special editions did this actually, because then you can choose to have this one on the front, or, you know, the standard but exclusive cover, I guess, from the book boxes. I just really think that's a nice idea. Normally with art under the dust jacket, I don't actually see it because I don't have it displayed anywhere. So the fact that this does actually have the title of the book and things on there is really nice, and I feel like a lot of people would actually flip it to have this artwork on show. Oh, this is a quote that has caught my attention straight away. It says, "It's a paranormal thriller laced with twists and revelations that will stop your heart." And that is a quote by Aidan Thomas. And this doesn't actually have a little snippet, so I will just read you the full synopsis. It says, "Delaney always talked to the dark, but now the dark talks back. Delaney Myers Petrov is tired of being seen as fragile just because she's deaf. So, when she's accepted into a prestigious program at God Bowl University that trains students to slip between parallel worlds, she's excited for the chance to prove herself. But her semester gets off to a rocky start when she has an awkward encounter with a pretentious upperclassman whom she has every intention of keeping her distance from. Colton Price has been ordered to keep far away from the new girl and the voices that call to her from the shadows, but the pull of her proves impossible to ignore, and he can't help but be fascinated by her unusual talents. After a fellow student turns up dead, Delaney and Colton are forced to form a tenuous alliance, plummeting down a rabbit hole of deeply buried university secrets. They soon find themselves up against something old and nameless, an enemy that threatens to tear them and their forbidden partnership apart." Again, that just sounds so good. Definitely my type of book. It has a murder mystery element to it. It has magic, of course, and a little romance thrown in there as well. So yeah, hopefully this is another one that I will love. I'm absolutely obsessed with the cover and the sprayed edges, so I really do want to love it so that I can keep this book on my shelves. But yeah, once again, Illumicrate has smashed it with their design, and I cannot wait to actually pick this book up and give it a read. And there we have it, you guys. These are all of the books that I bought in October. There are definitely a lot, but a few of them are sequels to series that I will hopefully start soon, and the rest of them are books that I'm really interested in and cannot wait to get to. So yeah, definitely let me know what you think of this stack down below, and if you see any favourites on there as well, please do let me know. If you have made it this far into the video though and would like to let me know that you're still here, please go ahead and comment a book emoji down below. I say this all the time, but seeing you guys comment the emoji of the video truly does mean the world to me. So if you don't have anything in particular that you would like to say, but you would like to let me know that you're still here, please go ahead and leave me a book emoji. As well as that, please don't forget to click the like button if you like this video, and the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. It truly does mean the world to me, and I will see you soon in my next video. Goodbye!